So XRP bounced back after that crazy crash yesterday. We saw it drop all the way down to $2.74 on Live Coin Watch. And hey, XRP wasn't alone in this mess. The whole crypto market took a pretty good beating yesterday. But here's the big question everyone's asking. Are we done with the worst of it? Have we hit the bottom? Can we finally take a breather? Well, most analysts seem to think so, but even if we do dip lower, and yeah, some analysts admit that could totally happen, it's really not the end of the world. You'll see exactly why I'm saying this. Look, we're nowhere near breaking this bull market structurally. It's just not happening, folks. We've got way higher to go before we eventually hit a bear market down the road, but we're definitely not there yet. There's actually a ton of stuff to feel good about right now. XRP's bouncing back nicely, and with any luck, yesterday was as bad as it gets. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, the price is holding steady or even higher, though obviously I can't promise that. I'm going to walk you through what a bunch of different XRP chart analysts are saying about all this. But real quick, I got to be upfront with you. I don't have any financial background whatsoever. I'm not giving financial advice here, and you definitely shouldn't buy or sell anything based on what I'm telling you. As I'm recording this, XRP's sitting pretty at $2.93, not too shabby at all. That's actually a really solid bounce back from yesterday's low of $2.74. And Bitcoin, it's at $114,610, which is a nice recovery from that 24-hour low of $112,396. I'm betting some of you are breathing a little easier today compared to yesterday, but man, the fear that was going around was just wild. And honestly, it didn't need to be there. It really doesn't make sense to panic when we're nowhere near the end of this bull market. We're just not there yet. Here's the thing. We haven't even hit that crazy euphoric phase that everyone talks about. You know, that moment when your neighbor's asking you how to buy crypto and your barista's giving you investment tips. We're not even close to that yet. So check this out. Chart analyst TechDev dropped this gem on his 538,000 X followers. He said, every dip continues to have the crowd thinking maybe top. And that should tell you everything you need to know. Timeline on eggshells since 15K, wall of worry. Worry when it crumbles. Dude, that's absolutely spot on. He posted that on the evening of August 1st, but here's the crazy part. Over 12 hours before that, I actually shared this exact same thought. I wrote it in all caps because I really wanted to drill this into everyone's heads. Yeah, I was basically yelling at you through the internet. Markets do not top in fear. That's the whole message right there. When TechDev says what he's saying, he's telling you the exact same thing I was screaming about. When everyone's scared out of their minds, we're definitely not at the end, folks. Here's when you should actually start worrying. When everyone's feeling euphoric and then you get that first real dip that might signal a bear market, even then you can't be 100% sure that's it. But when that dip happens and the market just shrugs it off like it's no big deal, that's your red flag. But right now, when everyone else is panicking, no, that's actually when you shouldn't be worried. It's basically always the opposite of what the crowd thinks. That's just how markets work. Here's what Crypto Wizard had to say about Bitcoin. He's calling this a healthy retest. He's keeping his eye on things as we head into the week. And he pointed out that Bitcoin broke out of that inverse head and shoulders pattern, just like he predicted, but it couldn't quite punch through that big $120,000 resistance level. Now it's coming back down to test that breakout again. The big question he's asking is, can Bitcoin flip this level and turn it into support? His take? Dips remain for buying. So yeah, he definitely doesn't think this party's over, not even close. His whole vibe is still dips are for buying for anyone who's looking to get in. And honestly, that makes total sense to me. So check this out. He's got this Bitcoin dominance chart that's pretty telling. A collapse is on the horizon. And honestly, that's exactly what we're hoping for. Bitcoin dominance has been climbing since 2022, but July just wrapped up with this bearish engulfing pattern that basically said nope to the upper trend line of that symmetrical triangle. We've seen this movie before, and last time it played out, things came tumbling down. Here's the thing though, we actually want Bitcoin dominance to tank even while Bitcoin's price keeps climbing. Why? Because that means altcoins get their moment to shine. This is literally the playbook every single cycle. Everything's happening exactly like it should, people. There's zero reason to panic right now. Patience is going to pay off big time. So yesterday, while the market was basically having a meltdown, Credible Crypto dropped some perspective that we all needed to hear. He laid out 3 possible scenarios in his video, and here's the kicker. 2 of them have us bouncing back right around where we were trading. Now, if Bitcoin drops below $110,000, that kills off one scenario. Below $105,000, that takes out the second one, leaving us with just the final play. But here's what matters. In every single scenario, the big picture structure stays solid. His advice? Don't lose your mind over what's basically just noise on the shorter time frames. That's some seriously good wisdom right there. No need to freak out. Everything's actually fine, and it's pretty nice seeing us bounce back like this. But then someone called Red Oyster jumps in with the doom and gloom, basically saying maybe Bitcoin already topped out and we won't get an alt season this time. You know, the whole nobody has a crystal ball routine, asking everyone to cut them some slack for being nervous about the current chaos. And Credible Crypto, he's just not having any of it. He shoots back with pure logic. There's absolutely nothing suggesting we've already hit the top. You can't trade these markets on feelings, folks. You need logic and reason every single time. Horfashed that dial. For that higher time frame structure to actually break, we'd need to see Bitcoin drop below $74,000, and we're nowhere even close to that level. His point really hits home. If you're getting nervous trading at $112,000, knowing there's zero real danger, even if we drop to 110K, 100K, or heck, even 90K, then you're letting emotions drive your decisions, and that's a recipe for disaster in this space. Guy deserves a standing ovation for that reality check. Oh, and a couple days back, he mentioned it might be time to start loading up on XRP again. This morning, he reposted that with just XRP, and this killer XRP BTC chart. Look at this thing. It dipped below a key level, but now it's testing that same line as resistance. He's expecting it to break through right about where we are now. Don't sleep on this, people. XRP hitting a new all-time high against Bitcoin this cycle wouldn't shock me one bit. It's been absolutely ripping higher since November, and honestly, we're nowhere near done here. So, chart analyst Dr. Cat dropped this prediction about XRP that's worth checking out. He said the correction should wrap up somewhere between August 2nd and 4th, with support around $2.78 if we tested it on the 3-day chart. And in the favors, now that we've got a bit more hindsight, yeah, he was pretty damn close. I mean, we're basically splitting hairs at this point. Here's the thing. You had different analysts throwing out slightly different numbers. Dr. Cat said $2.78. Others were calling $2.80. Some went a bit lower. Now, I get that for some of these guys, when they give you a specific price, that's their line in the sand for invalidation. But here's how I look at it. When you've got a bunch of analysts all saying roughly the same thing with similar price targets, they're probably onto something. Whether they consider hitting their exact number as invalidation or not, my experience watching these folks tells me we're in pretty safe territory when there's that kind of consensus. And wouldn't you know it, we did briefly kiss $2.74, but we've already bounced back above it. So at least as I'm recording this, things are looking pretty solid. CW dropped this gem this morning. Long positions in XRP have basically vanished. All that's left are the shorts. Now, sure, you could look at this as bearish sentiment, but here's the flip side. Those short positions are sitting ducks just waiting to get absolutely demolished. And honestly, this is exactly why I don't mess around with leverage, and I never will. Look, unless you're some kind of trading wizard, which is basically nobody, maybe 0.01% of people, leverage is just plain stupid. I don't care how tempting it looks. You're gonna lose your money, period. I know tons of people still want to play that game anyway, and hey, to each their own, but I'm telling you right now, it's dumb and you will get burned. But back to the point, this whole setup is absolutely going to flip. Mark my words, folks, this thing's about to turn around big time. So yesterday afternoon, chart analyst Dom gave us an XRP update that's worth breaking down. He said that $2.80 region was his first area to watch, and yeah, we sliced right through that one. His next level, he's looking for a bounce somewhere between where we were and $2.65. Not saying we had to hit $2.65 exactly, just that it could go as low as that. But here's his warning. Anything below $2.65 and the chart gets pretty ugly. Either way, he wasn't thrilled about what we were seeing for any short-term momentum. Good news though, we've had a solid bounce since then, and we didn't even get close to that $2.65 level. Nothing's actually broken here, people. That's the main thing I want to get across. Everything is still fine. None of the analysts I'm following are hitting the panic button over this move. Take chart analyst Zoom from yesterday. He posted that XRP's lower time frame wave 5 is wrapping up, and he's still calling for $6 to $8 XRP in August. Then this morning, he reposts the same thing and adds that XRP just had a perfect bounce from that wave 5 zone he mentioned yesterday. Guys staying super optimistic about the short term. We could be looking at $6 to $8 this month. So let's not be crying in our cornflakes here, folks. The best is still ahead of us, and we're already bouncing back. XRP just proved it can hold when it matters. And that's exactly what we needed to see. Crypto Insight UK dropped this take. XRP closing the week above $2.94 would be solid, and above $3.04, that'd be fantastic. Well, we'll see what happens. As I'm recording this, we're sitting at $2.92 right now. I have no clue what's going to happen, but you guys watching this later, you already know how this story ends. We're pretty darn close though, so it could definitely happen. So Chart Analyst Crypto just put out this 6-month update that's pretty fascinating. We still got 4 months and 29 days before this candle wraps up, and he's wondering, are we about to witness XRP smash through its price barriers and make history, or have we already peaked and everyone's missing it? Honestly, I'm calling BS on that second option. This guy's still convinced the final run is on its way, and when it hits, it's going to be legendary. Now check out these numbers he's throwing around. Non-log scale has us hitting 489, but the log scale, get this, 4890. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. That 4890 number, not happening. 0% chance in my book. He's not even really predicting it, but I wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. I'd love to be wrong, but let's be realistic here. His whole thing is about averaging approaches though. So he grabs that 489, adds the 4890, splits it down the middle, and boom, $27. Pretty wild that there's a 10x gap between those scales, but honestly, that $27 average doesn't sound completely nuts. Whether his method makes sense to you or not, that's his read on it. Like he says, take it or leave it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, just showing you what the patterns are saying. Here's the deal. Not a single analyst I'm tracking has gone bearish on this thing, so why should you? The good stuff's still coming, people. XRP bounced back like a champ, and fingers crossed it's still cruising when you see this. Standard warning though, I'm definitely not a financial advisor. Don't go making trades based on anything I'm rambling about here. That'd be a terrible, terrible, terrible move.